beautiful day for a game of tug-of-war.
The trucking game has changed. No longer heavy duty, it's now called severe duty.
Ready for a severe tug-of-war?
I'm ready.
Our final safety measure, cutting the rope, save the truck from going in the drink.
I believe they're gonna need that because this boat is gonna pull that thing into the drink.
See what severe duty looks like. Who will win in the ultimate tug of war?
Okay, are we ready? Go!
As sure as a piston moves with combustion, our customers rely on their engines to drive their business. It's true from owner-operators, large fleets and buses, to marine, construction, mining, and agricultural equipment. In all types of diesel engines through all types of conditions, DELO products have logged billions of miles and countless strenuous hours.
Our family has been in business 50 years. We have 29 trucks, many with 1 million miles plus without an overhaul. We use DELO 400 oil because it extends the lives of our engines.
At Chevron, we help our customers' business go further by delivering extended service protection, maximizing engine durability, and minimizing operating costs.
The number one customer requirement is engine durability and reliability.
We go further than simply providing a protective film on pistons, liners, bearings, and shafts. DELO with ISISN technology works hard to disperse soot and control sludge, protecting our customers' valuable investment.
Since we switched to DELO in 1995, I've noticed no sludge buildup, no nothing. Our motors have been spotless, clean inside.
Plus, DELO with ISISN technology gives customers the ability to drive their equipment further to achieve maximum productivity.
I feel that DELO 400 product is keeping our trucks on the road a lot longer.
ISISN technology is how Chevron expertly formulates its most premium lubrication products, combining premium base oils with high-performance additives. ISO represents Chevron's patented ISO cracking and ISO dewaxing base oil manufacturing processes. SYN is the synthetic-like performance DELO delivers. Advanced diesel parts protection that rivals synthetics. You can see the proof when measured in benchmark testing. For example, in the Caterpillar micro-oxidation test, which measures an engine's oil resistance to oxidation, DELO with ISISN technology showed statistically better performance in this test versus competitors' full synthetic SAE 5W40 products, reinforcing ISISN's performance beyond just words. DELO with ISISN technology helps your equipment go further. Here's our continued promise. We will keep testing DELO lubricants in extreme conditions to ensure our customers receive a high level of protection and performance before they put it in their diesel engines.
Okay, what we got here is the cams for both the exhaust valve and intake valve. Cams look in perfect condition, the first thing you see. And then the overall picture is it's absolutely clean. There's absolutely no sludge. I mean, it is absolutely clean.
DELO with ISISN technology lubricated the first diesel engines to achieve 1 million miles of life without an in-frame engine overhaul over 20 years ago. And now we are achieving even longer engine mileage between overhauls.
We just tore down a Series 60 Detroit diesel engine with 1.5 million miles on it, all using DELO 400. The parts coming out of this engine had minimal wear, looked really well. We're putting most of these parts back into our engine on the rebuild. Once we get this rebuild done, we're putting the truck back on the road, and we believe that the truck will go another 1 million plus miles.
In the highly competitive world today, our customers are under constant pressure to do more in less time with fewer resources.
Well, the 70,000 mile drain interval was more of a dream than it was reality when we started with DELO. And today I can tell you that it's reality, and yeah, we were really surprised how well it's worked. And it's worked as good as you could absolutely want it to be. And like I said, we're thinking about going longer than 70,000.
DELO with ISISN technology helps our customers go further with the equipment they've got.
The DELO products that we've used have substantially minimized our operating costs. It's satisfying to know that we can extend the time on our oil changes, if needed, just by using the DELO product.
It all adds up to DELO with ISISN, helping your equipment go further.
DELO protects my business. Let's go further.
To learn more about DELO with Isosin technology, visit us at chevrondelo.com. DELO, let's go further.
You depend on your parts, and your parts depend on DELO. DELO provides extended service protection, maximizes engine durability, and minimizes operating costs. DELO with Isosin technology delivers confidence.
Ozark Trucking began in 1989. We are a for-hire carrier. Our primary customer is Raley's. We also act as a leasing company to Raley's. We supply them equipment. Between the two of us, we have about 360 million miles since our beginning. We have run exclusively on Chevron products, antifreeze, oil, lubricants, greases, and to this day, we have never experienced a Chevron-related product failure.
We're here in Sacramento, California, inspecting a Cummins IXX engine rated at 450 brake horsepower that has completed over 450,000 miles using DELO Extended Life Coolant and DELO 400 XLE SimBlend 10W30. The oil drains were extended to 45,000 miles in order to maximize the customer's uptime and to minimize his operating costs.
We have 62 trucks on the road, delivering over 100 stores. In the summertime, typically they're 75,000 pound loads running in a 105 temperature. In the wintertime, our typical loads are still 75,000 and we're running snow and ice. We have to count on them trucks.
In reviewing the pistons, the first thing that is obvious is the top of the piston is absolutely clean. There is no carbon, so a good indication it's had a low oil consumption. When we then look at the lands, the lower lands perfectly clean, the higher lands here, just some minimal deposits and minimal deposits on the top land itself. Then looking at the undercrown, which is extremely a hot location, also absolute minimum deposits. So minimizing the deposits enables the rings to be free, operational, and minimize oil consumption.
Through our maintenance shop, we probably rebuild about a little over 100 engines a year. We have about 4,000 trucks that come through for service events. The engine that we just tore apart that I took a look at, over 450,000 miles on it, and in really great shape for that kind of mileage.
We're now looking at the connecting rod bearings that have operated on the SAE 10W30 for over 450,000 miles. This is the unloaded side of the bearing and this is the loaded side. You can see there is no overlay removal. These bearings are in great shape. We are now looking at the main bearings. This is the unloaded side and this is the loaded side of the bearings. You can see on the 7th bearing just a slight copper exposure, which is typical for these bearings at 450,000 miles. This engine has two cams, one for the intake and exhaust valves, one for the injectors. When we review the injector lobes, which operate under extreme pressure, we just see polishing wear on each of the lobes. On the lobes for the intake and exhaust valves, obviously they are all intact, and again we see just polishing wear. The lobes themselves are in great condition, and because of that we also see in the rollers for the injectors, the rollers themselves are all in just polishing wear, no play between the roller and the bronze pin. Also in the case of the intake and exhaust, the rollers also just highly polished and no play between the pin and the roller. These parts actually can go back into the engine. These trucks operate under severe conditions, hauling freight over the Sierra Nevada mountains. The temperatures can range from sub-zero to over 100 degrees F, and it's clear the DELO extended life coolant has provided excellent protection to the cylinder liners, the water pump and the radiator. Looking at these conditions, clearly the DELO extended life coolant has provided excellent protection to these components. Looking at the water pump, the impeller side, cast iron, no rust, no cavitation, no corrosion, it looks in great shape. And also the housing, which is a cast iron housing, but as you can see, again, there's the housing is in perfect shape, along with the thermostat, also extremely clean. All these products were operating perfectly.
We operate about 120,000 miles a year per tractor. We've been using the DELO 1540 product. We're currently testing and we'll probably switch to the new 10W30 product. That should realize us about $150,000 a year in fuel economy savings, which is going to be more than a tremendous benefit.
After completing the inspection of this Cummins engine, we are extremely satisfied with the condition of both the engine components and the coolant components. Clearly, the DELO family of products are providing Ozark the uptime, durability, reliability that the customer expects, while providing fuel economy with the DELO 400 XLE SymBlend 10W30.
Clearly, the DELO family of products helps my fleet go further.
Hi, I'm Doug Sindel. Our family has been in business 50 years. We have 29 trucks, many with 1 million miles plus without an overhaul. We use DELO 400 oil because it extends the lives of our engines.
I'm John Reed from Automotive Service. We're a Chevron distributor. We're the company supplying Sindel Transportation with their motor oil. They had a truck that they had in for service that they had over 1,000,001 miles on, and they just out of curiosity wanted to drop it because they were getting kind of antsy, and found out that it was in unbelievable shape.
I'm Dave Troop, Fleet Manager here at Sindel Transport. We've been in the trucking business for 50 years. I've been here at Sindel Transport for almost 24 years. We're a general commodity hauler, long haul predominantly. When I first started, we were using a different brand of oil, and I had to personally take the valve covers off, and I used to notice quite a bit of sludge buildup and soot, or whatever you want to call it, in the motors. And since we switched to DELO in 1995, I've noticed no sludge buildup, no nothing. Our motors have been spotless clean inside.
Yeah, Chevron's DELO engine oils that are made with ISOSYN base oil technologies. The ISOSYN base oil technology, along with our additive chemistry, allows customers to extend their engine durability, maximize engine life, and thereby minimize their maintenance costs.
We removed this cylinder head, removed the valves. There is very minor carbon deposits down inside the cylinders, very minor carbon deposits on the valves themselves. There is essentially no wear on the valve guides. When the valves are down in the head, when you wobble them, so the valves are not wore. The guides are not wore. That is incredible. The camshaft, there was no sign of wear. The camshaft, there's an overhead cam on this engine, which is in the cylinder head. There was essentially no wear items on the camshaft. We're going to reinstall the camshaft back in the engine. As you can see, there is minimal carbon deposits. The valve seats are all shiny, meaning that they are all sealing properly. This head, once we pulled it off the engine, we turned it up, we took the valve springs off, turned it upside down. We did not clean the cylinder head at all. This is the way it came off the engine. Minimal wear on the valve seats, minimal carbon deposits. I would say that an engine with 25,000-30,000 miles on it would be comparable looking to this. I would not be afraid to put that head back on the engine without doing anything to it, and it would probably maybe run close to running the same amount of miles that are already on it.
I've got 5 or 6 trucks with over 1 million miles on it, and with the DELO products, DELO extended life coolant, DELO oil, DELO gear lube in them. I mean, I certainly hope we can try and get 2 million miles out of them. I'm pretty confident that we can get close to that.
Previously on Tug of War, we pitted a 900 horsepower tug against a 500 horsepower truck.
Truck wins!
How about I have the proper boat, though? We try this again.
What a beautiful day for a game of tug of war.
Extreme loads, idling, and frequent cycles of loading and unloading, it can all add up to a lot of stress on your engine. Not just heavy duty, it's severe duty.
Well, the wind has come up and it's caused us a lot of problems, so I guess we got to figure this out. What do you think?
With this much wind, the tug's just going to want to go that way.
So if we give you a little more line out there, I think we have a better shot at it.
But what does all that look like for your engine day in and day out? And what kind of oil can protect an engine to stand up to this kind of punishment?
Round 2. Got a little heavier iron this time. That's good. Stop. Let's get him hooked up.
How's that?
Today, we are going to show what severe duty looks like.
Damn, that's a knot.
In round 2 of the ultimate tug of war.
It's crazy. It's very exciting. Oh, I think I could win against a boat 3 times that size.
What do you think? Probably could have tore him right off the reef if we wanted to.
With our first tug of war, we maxed out the wharf. We've got a lot bigger iron here. Had to move, had some wind issues, so we stayed where we are, just spread it out. Let's rock and roll. All right, this is tug of war. We all know the rules. Are we ready? Go!
This new Chevron oil has been developed specifically for severe duty.
The truck's starting to pull the tugboat.
Engineered to protect when critical engine parts run hotter, it performed so well in high temperature tests, even our scientists didn't believe it at first.
The truck's pulling him, the tug's coming backwards fast. The flag's getting close to the line. It's almost there, the truck's gonna win it. No, it's going the other way. The tug's got it.
You might not be pulling tugboats, but with extreme loads, idling, and frequent cycles of loading and unloading, your engine is working harder than ever.
Come on, let's see what you got.
This kind of severe duty needs an oil that is engineered for the job.
This is some big iron against each other. Come on, hammer down! Pull! 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 That much! Oh, you got that much! Pull! Is that all you got? He's gone. He's pulling him out the gate into the parking lot. We've got a winner. There it is. The truck wins. Yes.
With conditions this severe, it's good to have Chevron's new DELO 400 SD 15W30 on your side.
All right, round 2. You pulled it off again. Congratulations.
I was right at full towing power there. A lot of strain.
I was screaming. That's a lot of severe duty on that engine. You know, that engine's just taking a punishment.
Over 1,000 on there.
Over 1,000 degrees on your exhaust temperature. Don't try this at home.
We're here in Nashville, Tennessee, inspecting a DD15 engine that's completed 500,000 miles on DELO 400 LE 10W30. In addition, the coolant was DELO ELC. And overall, as we inspect the parts, the engine looks in excellent condition. We've examined all 6 pistons. Looking at the pistons here, the oil ring groove is perfectly clean. So is the second groove. The lands for the oil ring, also the third land here, you can see is clean. Top land is slightly carboned, but overall a very clean piston, including the undercrown, which gets extremely hot. We're looking at the main bearings. This is the loaded side. They are aluminum bearings with a coating for the braking. There's obviously really no debris gone through these bearings. You can see at the loaded side, basically one scratch here and here. They're in very good shape. If we look at the unloaded side, these look like brand new bearings that have never been in the engine.
I've looked at the data off of this truck compared to all our other trucks in our fleet, and this truck using the 10W30 gets better fuel mileage, over 2% better fuel mileage. So makes us feel confident to go further with this oil.
We're looking at the 2 camshafts, one for the inlet valves and one for the exhaust valves. We've inspected each lobe and they're in near perfect condition, and these cams will go back into the engine. We're now looking at the cylinder liners, and the first thing we look at is the inside of the liner to make sure, which it is, that the crosshatch is fully intact. And if the crosshatch is in good condition, with no wear step, which there's no wear step, we have good oil consumption control. If we look at the external part of the liner, if you look at each liner, you can see there is no cavitation at all on the cylinder liner. And that is true for each of the liners. No cavitation.
This truck has been running on 10W30 DELO. And what we've discovered is that during the same time we have checked the fuel mileage on this truck and some others that are running the same product. And it's 2.7% better than the other products. With our average miles per truck, that's $2,000 per year for every 10th we save. So almost $6,000, $5,400 a year less for this truck to run down the road with $3.75 fuel. A huge saving for us. If you look at and multiply that out by 120 trucks in our fleet. Makes me real excited to run 10W30.
The price of a used truck is indicative upon the useful life left in the truck. In short story, it's easy to tell people that this particular fleet here, there's just an incredible amount of engine life still left in the tractors, and like I say, it should be indicative in the price. And we're not the cheapest guy on the block, so I'm selling the added benefits of all the technologies that are available today and the benefits of running Chevron DELO through the engine here.
We've just completed the inspection of the DD15 of 500,000 miles, and we've clearly shown now that the DELO 400 10W30 compared to the 15W40 has a fuel economy benefit. It also provides extended drain capability, showing that DELO can go further yet maintain the engine durability.
This makes clear to me that our business will run further on DELO.
When you go with the DELO family of products, you've got a partner with you all the way. DELO, let's go further.